Being the 17th chapter of the Gospel according to John, our invitation number is 435, an old favorite, just as I am, 435. You had your hymnals ready at that time. Luke chapter 17. Verse 11 and following. Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus on his way to Jerusalem, this is the last time he's going there, and he's going, of course, to suffer and to die on the cross. He knows that. But he traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." When he saw them, he said, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." And as they went, in obedience to his command, as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw that he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, hear the broken heart of Jesus as he asks, were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Was no one found to return and give praise to God except this foreigner? Rise, go, your faith has made you well. Other versions, his faith has made you whole. Leprosy. It occurs 68 times in the Bible. 55 times in the Old Testament, 13 times in the New Testament. Its symptoms affects the skin and peripheral nervous systems and spreads to other parts of the body, hands, feet, earlobes, nose. Patients with leprosy experience disfigurement of the skin and the bones, twisting of limbs, curling of the fingers to form a clawed hand. Facial changes include thickening of the ears and a collapsing of the nose. Tumor-like growths form on the skin and in the respiratory tract. The optic nerve is also deteriorating. A greatest number of these deformities develop a loss of pain, sensation. They don't feel it. For instance, patients with leprosy can pick up a boiling cup of water and never flinch. They don't feel the pain. Leviticus chapter 13 gives us biblical rules that the Jews went by. The disease was thought to be contagious. In biblical times, those that had leprosy were considered unclean and were forced to separate themselves from public. The mere touch of a leper brought uncleanness. Breathing the same air of a leper was believed to be dangerous. When someone was pronounced leprous, they were looked upon as dead, walking dead. They were shunned. They were cast out of human society. They had special colonies that they would go and live in. Misery loves company. In ancient Israel, lepers were commanded to wear certain clothes, living in caves and in tents. They were commanded to stay apart, to wear a bell that would ring, and they would cry out, "Unclean, unclean!" If someone was too close, they had to run the other way. The rabbis considered leprosy as God's judgment for some secret sin or moral issue. Leprosy disfigures the person. Skin and hair waste away. Ulcer sores would cover the body. Loss of sensation of pain. Pain is really for your protection, to keep you from harming yourself further. Even blindness can result. Ancient humans considered it contagious, and often fingers, hands, and limbs just wasted away. There was a man named Dr. Brand, B-R-A-N-D. He specialized in leprosy. He came to our class in Louisiana College when I was there in the 60s. And our sociology class visited Carville, Louisiana, the only leprosy facility in the United States of America, and then one in Hawaii. I met lepers there, talked with them, learned about the fallacies and the things that we have wrong thinking about lepers. But the very word leper strikes fear into us, even to this day. Carville, south of New Orleans, began in 1894 and closed their doors finally in 2015, just a few years ago. So where are the other 9? Jesus asked. 10 were cleansed. Where are the other 9? The other 9 are right here. Number 1. Just stand up and read it to us. One sentence. Number 1. Number 1. Who has number 1?
I want to wait and see if this healing thing is really real. Maybe I have just fooled myself. I need time to check this out.
Well, I know I should thank Jesus for healing. But wait. I've been bamboozled by religious charlatans before. I'll just wait it out and see if it gets better on its own. No one's going to make a fool out of me. Religious people, they're always wanting me to think that they can make my life better. I will just wait and see. How do I know if I haven't been duped again? Number 2.
Oh, I would have gotten well eventually anyway. It is just a matter of time. I will wait it out.
Number 2 is here also. But what's the big deal about? So I had a disease. I'll get over it. Jesus just says the words, maybe waves his hand, and my life is going to be all right again. I'll be a new person. There's got to be more to it than that. I will do as Jesus says. I'll go to the priest. I'll get my clearance to live normally again. But this would have happened to me anyway. There's really nothing to it. And then number 3.
Well, I've heard about this I have heard about some high demands this Jesus guy makes on followers. I want him healed, but I don't need the discipleship thing and all that goes with that.
And just wait a minute. I've heard about this Jesus fella. I've heard his teaching before. And the thing he's going to want to do next, I know it's coming. He's going to want me to commit myself to him. He'll next tell me to change my ways, change my habits. I know what's coming. He'll even want me to be nice to people who have been mistreating me. I'll have none of that nonsense. I'll get to him someday, and I'll shake his hand when I have time, said number 3. Number 4.
This disease thing cut me off from my family. I want mostly to be with my family, and going back to Jesus will just have to wait a while.
Now, wait just a minute, Jesus. Just wait a minute. My disease has cut me off from my family, my job, my welfare, my community, even my synagogue. I'll get my certificate of health from the priest when I'm headed for home. Family is number 1 for me. Comes ahead of any kind of thanks to Jesus. I just delay a little bit. I'll get around to Jesus and thank him. After all, he's only 33 years old. He's going to be around a long time. I'll get to him and give him a handshake eventually. Number 5.
Going back to Jesus is unnecessary. Suppose I didn't need any healing at all. Who says I need healing anyway? I was never truly plagued with disease.
You know this whole thing's a mistake. This whole thing is just made up. I never really needed any kind of healing. Jesus is just trying to gain a following. I know what he's up to. Oh, I had some problems, and it was tough. But I can make it on my own. Jesus is not going to put any hold on me. I'm my own man. Number 6.
I do have good intentions of going back to Jesus, but I am busy, and have to set priorities in my life. He will always be around, and I need not hurry.
Okay. I know I should thank Jesus. He's a great guy, and he's done me a good thing. I fully intend to get back to him someday. Let him know how I appreciate him. But I have much to do. Places to go. People to see. Jesus won't mind just waiting a little while. After all, he knows that in my heart, I really intend to thank him someday. Number 7.
Now just remember with this disease thing, I've had a hard life. In my opinion, God owes me this healing. It is time I get some happiness in life.
Sounds like a lot of people here today, too. You know, I've been through a lot. I've always been a good man. Why should I have this disease? I know many others who deserve the troubles that I've had. Surely God knew I was an upright man in the community. I'll go to the priest. I'll get my certificate, get declared as healed. But after all, I deserve a good life. I think God owes me this healing. Number 8.
This Rabbi Jesus is okay, but I'm not going to go overboard with this religious thing. People will make fun of me if I get all excited over this healing event.
Now look, I'm not a fanatic. I'm a super religious guy, waving hands, jumping up and down for Jesus. Oh yeah, he healed my disease. But that's no reason to get all excited. People will make fun of me. They will ridicule me and expect me to be a super saint, which I'm not. Number 9.
Jesus instructed me to go to the priest and get an okay to live a normal life. But Jesus didn't really do anything great or earth-shaking. I'm not sure he did any miracle.
Well, what's with this Jesus fellow anyhow? He instructed me to go to the priest, as all Jews would have done, to get a certificate of good health so that I could go back to the synagogue, I could go back to my job and my family. But you know, Jesus didn't do anything special. He didn't wave his hands or say any words. Who knows? Maybe he didn't do anything at all. Maybe this would have happened anyhow. I don't owe him any special thanks. Where are the 9? They're right here. All of these are reasons that we sometimes give. We're not coming to church. We're not thanking Jesus. We're not living for him. All of these are reasons we all have. We all have them, and we use them. You might have thought that that was a typographical error in the bulletin. Even my spell checker on my computer said unthankful was not a word, but it's the way we really are a lot of the times. All these empty pews are witness to that fact. Some of them occupied by people who came for years. Where are the 9? They're here, they're out here, and they are everywhere. But remember this. All 10 were cleansed of their leprosy. When Jesus said it, it happened. And it was when they obeyed Jesus and went to their Jewish priest, as they were going, the disease went away. All 10 were cleansed, but only 1 was really made complete, made whole. Jesus said, your faith has done this. Rise up, go. Your faith has made you totally, absolutely, irrefutably, your faith has made you whole. I want to leave this church this day, walking out the door. I want to be cleansed, yes. But I really want to be made whole. I want my life to be changed from the inside out and become different. I want to be the one that came back and thanked Jesus. I want to be the one that is made whole. The 9, where are they? They are right here. The 1, where is he?